Welcome to my story time by mybooksummary.com. Get ready for quick wisdom of countless stories and explore. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. If you've ever dreamt of setting sail on a ship, hunting for buried treasure, or meeting real pirates, the kind with wooden legs, talking parrots, and a dangerous glint in their eye, then Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson is your book. It's got everything: a mysterious map, a boy thrust into adventure, a treacherous crew, sword fights, gunpowder, betrayal, and of course hidden gold. This is the book that pretty much invented the pirate stories we know today. If you've ever pictured a pirate saying, "Arr, matey," or imagined them with a peg leg and a squawking parrot on their shoulder, you have Treasure Island to thank for it. But it's more than just a fun pirate romp. It's a deeply thrilling adventure about courage, greed, and survival, with one of the greatest villains in literature, Long John Silver. So grab your compass, hoist the Jolly Roger, and let's set sail into the stormy seas of Treasure Island. The call to adventure, Jim Hawkins and the mysterious map. Like any great adventure, this one begins in the most unexpected place, a quiet little inn by the sea. Jim Hawkins, our young hero, lives with his parents at the Admiral Benbow Inn, minding his own business when a rough-looking sailor named Billy Bones arrives. He's big, scarred, and always looking over his shoulder, as if he's being hunted. Naturally, this is the kind of guest who brings trouble with him. Billy Bones drinks a bit too much rum, sings pirate songs, and warns Jim to keep an eye out for a certain one-legged man. And sure enough, soon enough, a blind beggar named Pew arrives with something called the Black Spot, which is basically the pirate version of a death sentence. The moment Billy sees it, he drops dead from sheer panic. Turns out, Billy had been hiding something, a treasure map. And now, every pirate from here to the Caribbean wants it. Jim, being a smart kid, doesn't wait around for trouble. He grabs the map and heads straight to Dr. Livesey and Squire Trelawney, two respectable men who immediately realize what they're looking at. This isn't just any old piece of paper. It's a map leading to buried treasure. And just like that, Jim is no longer just an innkeeper's son. He's about to become a sailor on the adventure of a lifetime. Setting sail, the Hispaniola and a crew with secrets. Squire Trelawney, who's a little too excited about the whole thing, immediately hires a ship, the Hispaniola, and assembles a crew to sail for Treasure Island. And here's where the real fun begins, because the crew he hires? Let's just say, they're not exactly honest men. Enter Long John Silver. He's a one-legged cook with a friendly grin, a charming way of speaking, and a parrot named Captain Flint who squawks out pirate phrases like "pieces of 8." Pieces of 8. If you met him at first, you'd think, what a great guy. And that's the dangerous part. Because behind that friendly smile is the deadliest pirate mastermind in the business. Silver has secretly filled the ship with men who were once part of the infamous Captain Flint's old crew. You know, the guy who buried the treasure in the first place. Jim, being naturally curious, overhears a conversation that sends chills down his spine. Silver and his men are planning a mutiny. As soon as they reach the island, they're going to kill the honest men and take the treasure for themselves. Now, let's just take a moment here. Jim is not some trained sailor. He's not a warrior. He's just a boy. But instead of panicking, he takes the first real step toward becoming a hero. He warns Captain Smollett, the strict and competent leader of the voyage. Smollett, Dr. Livesey, and the few trustworthy men on board now realize they're sailing with a ship full of traitors. The adventure has turned deadly. Treasure Island, a land full of danger. After weeks at sea, they finally reach Treasure Island, a wild, untamed place that seems to whisper of secrets. The pirates, impatient and greedy, are already on edge. Jim, being the adventurous type, sneaks onto the island and stumbles upon someone completely unexpected, Ben Gunn. Ben Gunn is a former pirate who was marooned on the island years ago. He's half crazy from loneliness, but has one important piece of information. He's already found the treasure. But he's not about to hand it over to a bunch of bloodthirsty pirates. Meanwhile, the mutiny officially erupts. The honest crew retreats to a stockade, a makeshift fort, while Silver and his men launch attack after attack. The battles are fierce, muskets are fired, swords clash, and the tension is as thick as jungle mist. Jim, in a moment of pure guts or pure recklessness, steals a small boat and single-handedly cuts the Hispaniola adrift, preventing the pirates from using it. Let's just take a second to appreciate that. This is a teenager going up against grown, armed pirates. And he wins. Long John Silver, friend or foe. Now, let's talk about the most fascinating character in this book. Long John Silver. Silver is a master manipulator. One moment, he's all smiles, calling Jim matey and acting like a friendly father figure. The next, he's cold-blooded, ordering murders without blinking. Unlike most villains, Silver isn't just evil, he's smart. He knows when to fight, when to charm, and when to switch sides. At one point, when things start going badly for the pirates, Silver suddenly acts like he's on Jim's side. He even saves Jim's life. But can he be trusted? Not for a second. Silver is like a cat that always lands on its feet. He knows how to survive, even if it means switching teams. The final showdown, the treasure hunt. Eventually, the remaining pirates and the honest crew set out to find the buried treasure. But when they get there, surprise! The treasure is gone. Ben Gunn already dug it up and hid it somewhere safe. At this point, the pirates turn on each other. Greed, betrayal, and desperation take over, and the jungle echoes with gunfire and screams. Silver, ever the survivor, once again sides with Jim and the honest men. He helps them escape, because, let's be honest, he knows he has a better chance that way. In the end, Jim and his friends recover the treasure, escape the island, and sail back home. Silver, ever the slippery snake, manages to escape with a small portion of gold, disappearing into the horizon. Final thoughts: why Treasure Island is a timeless classic. Treasure Island is more than just a pirate story. It's the pirate story. It's about adventure, courage, greed, and survival. It's about a boy who goes from being an ordinary innkeeper's son to a hero. It's about a villain who is both charming and terrifying, a man you admire even when you know he'd betray you in a heartbeat. This book has everything: action, mystery, betrayal, and humor. The pacing is perfect, the characters unforgettable, and the setting so vivid you can almost hear the waves and smell the sea salt. And let's not forget the lesson at the heart of it all. Treasure in the wrong hands is a curse. Greed leads to ruin. But adventure? Now that's something truly priceless. So, if you haven't read Treasure Island yet, it's time to hoist the sails and set out on the journey of a lifetime. Just keep an eye on Silver. He's always got another trick up his sleeve. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybooksummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends, and let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.